Hello YouTubers, Warren here. Tuesday 6 a.m. on the way to work. Something that crossed my mind last night and this morning. Well, first of all, I took a couple of days off of vacation, which was Friday and Monday. And of course I'm off on the weekends. Let's talk about vacation time and or PTO, whatever your job and you call it. Look, people. And part of this is my fault because I did not unsync my phone from my office email. When I'm on vacation, I don't want to be bothered about work. I'm sorry, that's just me. That's why I take vacation. And that's why I have my weekends off. Now, unless I'm getting paid to work weekends and getting paid to work after hours, in which I don't wish to be bothered doing my personal time. Now, I'm wondering if Gmail has a daily auto response to do not disturb from, let's say, 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day. I need to research this because I don't really have a problem with my phone or my work email being synced with my phone. But one email fine, but you got several emails coming through. And people know good and well that you on your vacation time or your PTO. No, I did not respond to them simply because I'm tired and I needed a break. Being overwhelmed from work and being in a situation where I've done the same type of work for many years, and I know y'all simply will go somewhere else. It'll be the same crap. And let me take a quick break off my little minor rant to say, I am also seeking new subscribers. So people, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. But anyway, when I'm on vacation and off work, I don't particularly like seeing back-to-back company emails coming up. Now, Friday morning while I was off on vacation, I did get one, but I responded because she didn't know that I was on vacation apparently. And like I say, going back to partly my fault, I did not set up the vacation out of the office thing. But I'm just curious to see if I can go one step further and set up an auto response to just automatic respond from the hours that I do not work, like Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day of the week, and off all day Saturday. Set up these auto responses. It's either that or just don't sync my phone to work-related stuff. And I'm kind of thinking about just unsyncing my phone. But the thing of it is, if I'm out of the office and I'm working out of the office, I do need to get those emails. But what were we doing before we were syncing phones? We would just check our emails. So I think this is going to be one of those things to where I'm going to go back to the medieval times to where you didn't sync. And so I'll check my emails Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and no other times, because it can get annoying when you're finally saying, phew, man, I'm so sick of this place, I need a break. And it's not against people, it's just the fact that you feel overworked. And when you get to these points and then you're still being reminded that you have work stuff and you laying somewhere on the beach or you sitting on your own couch sipping a daiquiri, it doesn't matter where you are, but that's your PTO. And how could you enjoy your PTO or vacation time when you're constantly being reminded, bling, bling, office emails? How can you? And before a lot of you send me a comment, well, a lot of us don't work, you should be grateful. Having a job is nothing to be grateful for. First of all, you provided a service just as they are. And especially if you've been in a particular field, and I'm just talking about the general public, and you feel like you're not being paid for what you're worth. Now, yeah, you could go somewhere else, but the likelihood of you going somewhere else and making more money, but not to be stressed out, that's the problem. And I'm at the age right now to where I'm just trying to ride this thing out. And I've even joked with people that no sir, I'm good, I'm just trying to ride it out. Can you just keep me employed? Can you give me enough work? I know that's the wrong attitude to have, but when you've been affiliated with a place for so long, and your pay scale is undesirable. Let's just put it that way. And then you bring in the newbies, and nothing against the newbies that are coming in up and coming, because they're gonna replace me. I'm ready to be replaced. Hell, they're making more money with less experience, and they're basing it on a piece of paper on the wall, because they come up with all these, every year these schools come up with a different type of certificate. They don't call them degrees no more. It's a certificate. That's all it is. I can get a certificate for counting French fries at McDonald's if I want to. Hell, but anyway, my thing is, no, give it to the young heads. Let them all be more gung ho about it. I've reached my peak. I have nothing to prove at said company, other than the fact that you've already said you like my work. I'm a valued employee. You can always count on me to be here. That's all I can give you right now. Hey, I'm drinking while I'm driving. Water. How about that? But the whole focus of this video is just when you take your time off, people, unless you some type of a doctor, brain surgeon, unless the world is just going to end if you don't respond to that email, I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to get nobody fired. But leave those emails alone. No, I did not answer them. I did not respond to them. But it's just a simple fact that when I posted my request for my time off, and I said I would be unavailable, that word obviously did not sink in. So enough of this. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like I said, I'm gonna have to just not sync my phone to my office email, because when I walk out that door, I don't take it with me. But look at me now. I haven't even made it to work yet, and I'm talking about work. I hate being in this kind of position. When I'm away from work, y'all leave me alone, with all due respect. Because you have to understand, you may have put in a lot of years and a lot of time. That pat on the back and that attaboy is not gonna put food on your table. If it ain't about money, it don't make sense to me to be having these conversations after hours or responding to after hour emails. And I'm a type, I really don't believe in that comp time, because a lot of times these companies expect you to forget all those extra hours you put in. Yeah, you can print out your timesheet or your docket or whatever, but let's say you did 20 hours of overtime. Now you got comp time building up. When are you gonna be able to take the comp time? You go to your immediate supervisor and you say, well, I want to be off next Friday to, recoup some of that comp time, but we're gonna be too busy, we can't let you off. So now you're in the hole. You've taken time away from your family, if you have one. You've taken time away from doing your weekend adventures. A lot of us have weekend warrior jobs or evening jobs that you have neglected because you're working primarily free. You're not receiving anything. So if you have these extra sources of income, and your primary job is just that, primary, but if it's cutting into your second and third sources of income, you have to make a rational decision. Hey, look here, Mr. Boss, these are my working hours. Let me just set a reminder that I have other obligations. You don't have to explain what your obligations are. Just make them aware of the fact, because a lot of times these companies get caught up in greed. They start doing a song or dance of how much money the company is going to make. And this happened to a personal friend of mine, the reason why I'm saying this. And he fell for the okie doke of how much money the company is going to make. We're going to have a great year end. He busted his tail. Never seen him. He was working 7 days a week. End of the year, he got his typical 4% raise. Now, where did all that money go? Where did all that comp time go that you didn't recoup? He had hundreds and hundreds of hours of comp time. Pretty much it vanished in thin air. That's what they expect from us. You didn't make a penny more than what you was going to be given when it came time for your review. And his review, when it came up in, I don't know, November 1st, whatever time he said they did it. Because he spent the last month of that year just pretty much calling out sick and just taking vacation time. But yeah, that's enough to make you sick. You bust your tail, and end of the year, here's your usual 4% raise, no matter how hard he worked. Well, it's within keeping of company standards. But where was all that when they was doing the smoke and mirrors and all the trickery and trying to convince you to work overtime and all the comp time that has mysteriously disappeared, that you're not going to receive. See, those are things that I have an issue with, when it comes to work. And it's not against my particular job or anything of that nature. I'm just simply saying these companies need to be more fair with the people that are employed by them. And speaking of fair, I remember those days of hearing that word all the time. An old former supervisor of mine, his thing when it came to certain people, well, I'm trying to be fair. What do you mean you trying to? Either we're gonna do this thing or you're not. So here's my thing. My solution behind this is I probably really need to just not sync my phone to receive company emails anymore. I wish, and I'm hoping there's a way that I could do it out of an office every day, Monday through Friday, from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. If that works, if it's in Google email, I'll select that. Because like I say, when I'm out of the office and I get to work out of the office, I have no issue getting my emails because I am on company time. But on my time, I don't see where me sitting here on my vacation, and I don't care if I was at the park. And I see people doing it all the time. And that's probably what majority of people are doing when they're off sitting at the park, supposed to be relaxing. They're responding to emails. And it's the weekend, or it's their off, it's their vacation. Maybe that company's paying them for that. Maybe they get to turn in a ledger showing all the stuff they did for that 2 hours while they were off work. I don't know. I'm not getting paid for it. So, I was taught to, if you want something, you have to work for it. So, I want to have lights. I want to have food. I want to have a place to stay. So, I want to work for it. I can't work for free. That is not going to get me anywhere. I played that whole song and dance, and I heard all that stuff, and then as years go by, it's always some excuse as to reason why. They try to play these little mind games, and you in the middle of your interview for your reviews and everything, and they're trying to professionally put you down. And I remember one year saying, well, you know what? You get what you pay for. And it was at company A, whatever. So, but I'm just saying, when you're in these kind of positions and, you've proven yourself. You've proven yourself 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So you know the game. And that's when, doing your review is not all based on you sitting there and listening to what your boss or your manager has to say about you. Oh, you've been good all year. Y'all been straight all year, but when it comes time for a review, now the negativity is coming from their side. But guess what? Doing your review, that's your time to also review your current status at that company and remind them of all the hard work and time and hours you put in. And that's when you let them know, or you make them aware, well, I have overworked myself. I'm gonna have to pull back. And when you get older, it comes a time to pull back. You're not, I still get up early. I still get around pretty good, but I'm not finna burn my last few available brain cells over some darn emails and all this mess just to have it end at the end of the year with the same old BS. No, y'all can go on with all that. So anyway, everyone, I'm asking that you like, comment, share, and especially subscribe to my channel. I am seeking new subscribers, so reach out and let's continue to grow together. Everyone, have a great Tuesday. Take care.